The following is a presentation of the Spartan Media Network.
It's time for the Robyn Fralick Show.
Underneath the rim to Van Sluten. She'll back up and bank it off the board for two. Out to Shoemate. Now Halleck, a right slot three. Bring it up! Darren Halleck hits a long ball. Shoemate wide open left wing three. Bring it up! The dagger from Emma Shoemate.
The Robyn Fralick Show is presented by Diversified Insurance Group, your independent insurance agency for home, auto, and life. The Robyn Fralick Show is also brought to you by One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. Meyer, supporting hundreds of sports teams across the Midwest. Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartan Athletics. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. The Munn Team, Jan and John Munn at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Tommy Raines Realtors, realtors that get results. The MSU Federal Credit Union, Spartan fans dream big with MSU Federal Credit Union. And by Coors Light, choose chill. Now with head coach Robyn Fralick, here's the voice of Michigan State women's basketball, Dalton Shetler.
Hello all and welcome to the Coach Robyn Fralick Show presented by Diversified Insurance Group. We're live at One North Kitchen and Bar in East Lansing. Of the MSU Coaches Shows, make your reservation by emailing coachesshows@onenorthdining.com. Glad to be with you here today. I'm Dalton Shetler alongside the star of the show, head coach Robyn Fralick. Robyn, how are we? Been a journey. It has been a journey. But overall, Michigan State women's basketball this past week leapt 2 spots in the AP Top 25 poll. Your Spartans are now ranked 13th in the country. How about that, huh? 17-2 on the season, following up on the greatest start in Spartan women's basketball history. We're going to be celebrating some of that later on in this show. And we also had a really big applause as the show started. I think some of it was the fact that the show's actually underway, but Marah Dykstra's in the house. Give it up for Marah Dykstra. We'll be hearing from her in a little bit as well as we get to know her. But let's go ahead and briefly talk about a lot of grit getting back in that game in that second half. Overall, it felt like it was a pretty good week for your squad.
Yeah, you know, it was. And the league is really good. And getting Nebraska, which was a huge win, when I didn't feel like we necessarily had our best and found a way, you know, in the last 2 minutes to make a lot of winning plays to finish out that game. And
Back to the broadcasting voice, Robyn.
got it. Whether it's home, auto, life, or business insurance, Diversified Insurance Group has the coverage you need to stay ahead of the game.
This is Labatt, brewed for the fans who can't stop shouting "shoot it," and the driveway heroes.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
And
About our guest of honor, before Marah Dykstra,
you just need 3 things.
who was the last Spartan to wear jersey number 32?
You have a passion for supporting your community, just like we do. 3. When it comes to your future, you
That's
prefer
a
to
hard
dream big.
question.
If this sounds like you,
A hard one, but a good one.
MSUFCU.org to get started. Of course, if you want to cheer on MSU, we're totally on board with that too. Go green.
There's a difference
Before
between
Marah
an answer and a
Dykstra,
Michigan answer.
who
It starts with our team.
was the
like
last
you.
Spartan to wear the
University of
jersey
Michigan
number
Health Sparrow
32?
is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential.
The
and
last
discover a
name
fulfilling
rhymes
career
with
at one of
something
our
that you would put
award-winning
in your
hospitals and health centers.
coffee to
We make a difference
it.
every day, together. Join us
less
at
strong.
careers.uofmhealthsparrow.org.
Did we have any answers?
From the biggest of the big games
Sort of runs. Uh-oh, we're getting close. We're getting close to time. Oh, and we're going to wrap it up. You guys are going to have to wait until the next break to find out who the answer is.
local sports teams across the Midwest, from some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
Welcome back to the Coach Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. Even Sparty knows everyone needs a timeout every now and then, so why not take yours at the beach? Myrtle Beach is home to 60 miles of warm, sandy beaches, over 2,000 restaurants, and much more. Enter now for your chance to win your very own beach break getaway. Compliments of Visit Myrtle Beach. Go to visitmyrtlebeach.com/MSU to enter. Your ultimate beach break is just a click away. All right, Robyn, let's get into the week that was. We'll start with the most recent on Sunday. Iowa gets the win 75-68 against Michigan State. You mentioned it was a sold-out crowd, and to put it delicately, I thought your team had a lot of adversity to work throughout the course of this game from a few different ways. But nonetheless, I think maybe at times in the first half, maybe you felt like it got a little bit away from you, but that second half really pulled together and showed a lot of fight.
We did. And first half had, I thought we got a little out of rhythm offensively, against Iowa. The margin possessions are so important. And we just got away from taking good shots, which, is important in these games. And then we got in foul trouble. And that was frustrating because that was, the size element was a challenge for us without foul trouble. So those were some of the things. And then second half, they got kind of on a roll in that third quarter and we fought right back. I thought Julianne, her ability to make those threes kind of got us some rhythm. We had a great look from three going into the fourth. That would have cut it to 4 points. So our fight was good. At the end, too, we were getting stops. We just weren't finishing. I actually thought second half we took much better shots throughout, which helps our defense, too. So some good lessons learned. A tough environment, and the foul trouble was definitely a challenge of the first half and really of the game.
Well, and I think the frustration that you dealt with throughout the course of the game, you talk about the crazy environment it was. That's a lot of ingredients that when you're on the road and in that environment, that could make some teams fold. And for your team to come back, you mentioned last week, you walked away from the Pacific Northwest trip saying, I got a tough team.
Yep.
And I thought Sunday's second half really exemplified that as well.
Yeah, I loved our fight back, and the thing is, though, we have to have a better first half and a better first quarter and a better we got to play better on both sides of the ball to start the game. I love our heroic comebacks, but I don't know if that's we can't live and die that way in a game. That's just a lot to ask. So having a better start and playing better on both sides of the ball to start the game is going to be important for us moving forward.
Well, and earlier before that, the Michigan State Spartans got a win against a ranked Nebraska team, 24th ranked Nebraska. The final there, 73-71. Let's dig into that one, but matter of fact, let's start it off with the call of the week, the win over the Huskers.
Rashonda Jones driving down the floor, kicks out to Brown, far corner, three on the way. Bring it up! Oh, just the third three to fall for the green and white tonight. Comes at the most critical of junctures. Ice in her veins. Jalen Brown ties us up at 69. So here comes Julianne Woodard to the line. 2 free throws. We're tied at 71. Takes a deep breath. Ames fires. Swish! And the Spartans are in front, 72-71. 5.1 ticks to play. Woodard with the second one on the way. It's good. 73-71. Amy Williams will use her final timeout, saying let's hang on here for 1.4 and take care of business. Nisley, the inbounder for Nebraska. It's her, Prince, Maupin, Hake, and Hargrove. Box set around the lane. Nisley to inbound. Searching. Lobs in front of the rim to Maupin. It's deflected by Spider. The final horn sounds. Michigan State's defense delivers a victory for MSU. History is written. The greatest start in Spartan women's basketball history. 17-1.
So that's how it handled against the Huskers. It really was a thrilling win. And you mentioned this team found a way when it didn't have its best stuff. Mm-hmm. The defense really stood tall.
The defense did stand tall. And, I shared with Jalen when they slipped that screen on their sideline with 5 seconds to go, and we got a little confused on it, and she sprinted out and made a big play to tip that ball out of bounds. That was a great play. So I love that our team put together a bunch of winning possessions to finish it out. And Nebraska is one of those pesky teams. They're really good offensively, and they kind of pick you apart a little bit. And I thought that was a great win for us.
Well, and what's amazing too is we talk about finding ways to win games. You only hit 3 threes against this Nebraska team. You go 3 for 17 from 3, and you still find a way to defeat the number 24 team in the country. This group, I believe, just has a really innate ability to close out games so far that we've seen through the sample that we have. It really seems like one of the defining characteristics of this year's ball squad.
Yeah, well, I hope so. We still have a lot of big-time games left in front of us, but you always get better at it by doing it. Right. And you always get a little more confidence by doing it and executing. When it's easy to execute and practice when, there's some implications, but when the game lights are on and the popcorn's popping and, there's big implications on the line, our group's found some ways to make some big plays.
A couple of individual notes I want to hit on before we break here, Robyn. One being Grace Van Sluten. She had 17 points at Iowa. And again, it felt like she wasn't on the floor very much. And when she was, it didn't feel like you got all of Grace because she was in such foul trouble so early on. But 17 points against Iowa, that marks the 101st game of her collegiate career she scored double figures. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Yeah. She's just been playing so hard. There's been like another level in her, especially recently on both sides of the ball, of really competing and playing aggressive and playing assertive. And, we love to see that. We love to see, I think that her development, we've continued to see her get better during her time here. And right now, I love how aggressive she's playing.
The last 6 games, right now, she's averaging 17.5 points and north of 8 rebounds a game in the last 6. And quite frankly, she's been hard to guard. I think in that second half against Iowa, there were so many face-up opportunities she took, and it felt like that's where a lot of answers came for your group.
It did. She did a good job of getting to the basket, getting to the free throw line. I think of the Nebraska game too, in that critical fourth quarter. There's so many, in that about 5 minutes left in the fourth. We went to her a lot on the block, and she did a good job getting some, when it's a tie game, a one-possession game of finishing.
And I know our guest last week was Julianne Woodard. You highlighted her threes against Iowa, really kind of sparked something for your group. She hit 4 threes against the Hawkeyes. It's the most she's hit in any Big Ten game in her career. Yeah. She's somebody who you kind of tap her shoulder as she goes out there, and she does exactly what you're looking for.
Her threes were huge. I mean, that gave us so much momentum in the game. And sometimes it's just also what they're giving us, like they're packing it in or they're over helping. And so her ability to go out and find her and space out the court has been great.
Absolutely, it has. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the history that has been written. The 17-1 start, now 17-2. It's one of the best things you can find in history of this program. We're live from Lansing with the head coach of the Spartans, Robyn Fralick, and our show is presented by Diversified Insurance Group. You're listening to the Robyn Fralick Show.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
And it's
There's a difference between an answer and the Michigan
younger
answer.
one. It rhymes
starts
with
with our
Weimer.
And people like you.
Taya Weimer!
University of Michigan Health
Yay! We
is
got
hiring
that
for a
one.
wide
Okay, and now
variety
it's
of
on to
roles
question
at all
2. Great
experience
answer.
Unlock
Kennedy
the
Blair is
potential
39
to discover
assists
a
away from
fulfilling
cracking
career
into
at
the
one of our
top 10
award-winning
all-time
hospitals
for
and
Spartan
health
assists
centers.
in a season.
We make a
Which
difference
Spartan has
every
the
day.
most assists in
Together.
one season ever?
Join us at
It is not Kristen Haney.
careers.yvonhealthsparrow.org.
1996, not Jen Costa. 97, 96, 97.
Hundreds on my car
Not
insurance.
McCutcheon.
Really smart. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I took the gas hose out of
Not
my car's
Bowen.
tank.
Not Lindsay.
Ooh, not smart. And I drove off while still attached to pump number 3.
You guys need a rhyme word?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first.
I'm not sure. Where's she from? Not Julia. 96, 97 this happened in.
Allstate North American Insurance Company and
229.
affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Not Reese. Good guess.
From the biggest of the big games.
Not Reese. My rhyming hasn't been very good, so I don't know where my other. I don't know where my.
Run, James!
I don't. So I got 10 seconds
Whenever
left.
you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest.
Okay, I'll
From
come
some
up
of
with a rhyme word
biggest
for the
stadiums
next
in the
break.
state
All right,
to the
thank
familiar
you.
fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
We are back live on the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. Whether your moves across town or across the nation, the MUN team can help. Whether you're in the market to buy, sell, or both, check out the MUN team online at munteam.com. Jan and John Munn, serving buyers and sellers since 1985. They're realtors who get results. All right, folks, in the commercial breaks, as we always do during the Robyn Fralick Show, our associate head coach also plays great MC, and so far she's got everybody stumped with trivia. But we've got another trivia question that is brought to you by Alumni Hall. Alumni Hall Trivia. Today's winner will receive tickets to the next home game and a $25 gift card to Alumni Hall. Thanks for participating in Alumni Hall Trivia. Alumni Hall, your ultimate Spartans shopping experience. All right, this question... Let's see if anybody has this. Michigan State, next up, of course, is USC. The Spartans have one win against USC. It came back in 2005 in the second round of the NCAA tournament. The Spartans beat the Trojans 61-59 thanks to a game-winning layup with 2.9 seconds to go. Who made the game-winning layup for Michigan State? You think you have the answer? We got a microphone down here at the end of the stage, and we'll see if you win a couple of tickets and a gift card. In the meantime, while we have a moment, as we hear the murmuring of guesses and seeing what the best shot is, we talked about best start in school history, 17-1 for Michigan State to get out to that mark. I've heard you say this a couple of times when talking with your team. I think some coaches will take the route or philosophy of try to block out all the noise. Don't read anything. Don't listen to anything. Stay off your phone, so on and so forth. But you have kind of had this team embrace where they're at and said, what we're doing right now is historic. Let's understand that. Let's appreciate that. Let's use that as fuel. I was curious if you could explain that for our listeners.
Well, I think it's both. You know, in our program, we share a lot about stay in the huddle. I mean, I think the idea of them not hearing anything outside of it is a little crazy since they live in a world of social media and likes and all the things that I didn't grow up with. So it is a different time. But I also want them to feel, you should feel something around what they're doing because you got to stay on track. Basketball is a long season, and I think it's easy to get distracted or, whatever it looks like, frustrated or think ahead. But like, hey, the things we're doing are working. We got to stay on track. You got to feel something around that, and we got to keep working. There's, as we know, I think the part of the record is I give Dino credit, great scheduling and some big wins, and you got to be able to stack those together. But it's a little bit of both. I think you've got to have an appreciation for what you're doing and an understanding that you have to keep going for to stay on the tracks.
And so you have 3 ranked wins already this season for this Michigan State squad. Plenty more opportunities to come because this Big Ten league just does not sleep. I mean, there's plenty of ranked games coming your way. But I think one of the things, too, that a lot of the fans and listeners really have maybe been attached to or magnetized from your squad is we played for a moment ago that the final seconds of that Nebraska win. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the video of the final moments of that, you see Rashonda tip the ball, and then as she gets down on the floor, she starts kicking her legs in excitement. The teammates are all shoving each other. Everybody's excited. There's a real joy with this group.
Well, winning is fun. It really is. And, winning, like when it comes down to the last moment, seems a little extra fun, but I love that. You got to celebrate each other. You need each other. That's something we talk about all the time is like, we need each other. We got to help each other out. I mean, Jalen helped out Spider on that, stealing that backdoor pass, like you gotta help each other out, and then you got to celebrate each other. And that's the gift of team sports, is feeling part of something and feeling connected to something.
It really is something special. Well, we're still waiting on a trivia guess.
Yeah.
But we're going to take a timeout in the meantime. And
Clue,
we come back.
She's from Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
I'll try to give better clues than Coach Cam.
Oh, matter of fact, we might have a guess here before the break. Go ahead, tell us your name, where you're from.
Dan Hills from Mason, Michigan.
And your guess?
Liz Shimmick.
It is not Liz, but a good guess. Good guess. Yeah, we. I like Robyn giving clues. You're dialed in on
from
this.
From Columbus, Ohio.
All right, we'll see if anybody gets that. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll be introduced to our guest, Marah Dykstra. We'll be back with more from the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. You're on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me
Michigan
as
State
I
Athletics.
bore you to death with a
From
series of
financial
interviews about a
security
ticketing
to
app
helping
that
hands.
just does
Farm Bureau
what it's
understands
supposed to do.
the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Spartan fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes these moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is the official beer of Michigan State Athletics. So crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
We've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays, but now we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com, or pick some up today at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery, are now available at Wegmans.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us get the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Rich, if I had $1 every time Robyn said blank.
Propensity.
Favorite pregame snack?
Pretzels.
Favorite player growing up?
Steph Curry.
Cat or dog person?
Cat.
Favorite musical artist?
Drake.
Favorite drill practice?
Alabama.
Most embarrassing song on your playlist?
Unwritten.
Favorite dribble move?
Sham God.
You can only eat one thing the rest of your life. What is it?
Sushi.
If you weren't playing basketball, what would you be playing?
Pickleball.
Favorite sports team?
Warriors.
You can be an animal for a day. What animal?
Cat.
Favorite movie?
The Notebook.
Best trash talker on the team?
Ice.
Favorite vacation spot?
Bahamas was nice.
You can have a superpower. What would it be?
Invisibility.
Morning person or a night owl?
Night owl.
Downtown condo or Mo Forest cabin?
Cabin.
Who's your hero?
My dad.
Favorite class?
Science. None.
Favorite board game?
Sorry.
Favorite place on MSU campus besides the Breslin Center?
Broad Museum.
Favorite way to spend a day off?
In bed.
Favorite month?
August.
Favorite color?
Green.
Yeah, we got it just in time. 25 for Marah Dykstra. Nicely done. That was a buzzer beater,
Buzzer
too.
beater.
Nice work.
Green was a good toss-up at the end. That was like an alley-oop. That was perfect.
Favorite class? Science.
Science? I don't know. Yeah.
Well, there was a couple of things I really loved from these answers. One being, too, the favorite vacation spot. You said the Bahamas, and, of course, we just were in the Bahamas. That was your second time in your collegiate career down in the Bahamas, correct?
I've been...
Or the other one was Cancun?
Cancun and Puerto Rico.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So you've had a pretty nice college career.
Oh, my gosh. I've been so lucky. I've gone, I think 4 years in a row, I've gone away on a tropical vacation with my basketball team. And then I came here and they're like, we're going to the Bahamas. I'm like, yes, keep the streak alive. Let's go.
Well, and she had said her favorite player, Steph Curry. I know that is your favorite, right, Robyn?
That's my boy.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. We both went to Davidson and I missed him by 2 years, but I feel that's right? Kindred spirits. We got to be connected.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, and two, we talk about Marah and the places she's been able to go playing basketball. She's actually traveled to 15 different countries in 3 different continents playing this game of basketball. That's pretty special.
Yes. Yeah. Woohoo. Yeah, I'm just so grateful basketball's been able to take me so many cool places in my life. With my family, with my teams I've been on. I'm just so grateful for this game, and I'm excited to keep traveling when the ball stops bouncing too.
Yeah, no, it really is something cool. And look, we got a lot of questions to ask Marah too, and of course Robyn. But Robyn, let me start with you before we really dive into some of Marah. When she hits the transfer portal and you're going through assessing your roster, what was it about Marah that stuck out to you?
Well, it was kind of cool because Coach Weimer and I were in Madrid, Spain a few years ago, watching the national teams compete, and she plays for the Canadian national team. And I remember specifically watching them, and I'm like, man, she's really good. And Joel's like, she's at Montana State. I'm like, she can help us. What really stands out is she is a really good passer, has a great feel for how to play, and she's just part of winning. Like whatever team she's been on, or Montana State, the Canadian national team, her priority is how do we win. And I think that is one of her greatest gifts, versatility, ability, easy to play with. And she shoots the ball well too.
Well, and you brought up the international experience. Marah, you've won 3 gold medals with Team Canada?
Or 3 medals. Unfortunately, not as many as Grace. I've lost 2 medals to Grace. Grace has 2 golds, right? I have a gold, a silver, and a bronze.
Gold, silver, and bronze. I mean, still, that is incredible. Yes. I mean, to be able to rack that up. What has the experience been like playing for your team, your home country in Canada?
I mean, it's so cool. Being able to represent your name on the back and the name on the front to represent my family playing with the national team as well as my country. Unbelievable experience every time I get to put that jersey on. I'm just so happy I've been able to play with those guys, and just the connections I've made along the way with girls all across the country has been super cool.
That is really something pretty neat. There are a couple other things I want to get into with you here too, because Marah Dykstra has now played in 111 games throughout her collegiate career. Certainly a veteran. And really, most of the experience comes from her time, as Robyn said, at Montana State, the other MSU, or at least a different MSU. Last year at that MSU, you averaged 12.5 points per game. You now have 895 career points. your time at Montana State, I mean, you have a bit of a legacy too, because I will mention to the folks too that may not be aware, in the Big Sky Tournament Championship game, Marah Dykstra hit the game winner to send the rival Montana home and punch a ticket to the big dance. That had to be one of the neatest moments throughout your entire, maybe life beyond just playing career.
Yes. I think I was saying this when I was on like Christmas, I was like, that was like a highlight of my life, like a peak moment. I'll never forget that. Just that team was super special. And to have that moment with all of them, that was just amazing.
That was the 4th league title for the Bobcats. And as we said, it punched Montana State into the NCAA tournament. That experience, is that something where you started to go against some of the best teams and you're riding that high that maybe motivated and influenced you to try the transfer portal and see what happens at another level?
100%. And I think that was one of the reasons why I decided to step away from Montana State. Just going to Ohio State, playing in this league's first time. We had played some Big 12 teams throughout the year, and I'd had some pretty good games against those teams. And when we came to Ohio State, we played, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I want to do this on a weeknight. I want to do this on a Thursday night with where it's not like we're coming in as underdogs. Like I want to come into this league and I want to win some games. So that ultimately influenced my decision to make the move.
Well, and I still remember a conversation we had early in the season back in November when you opened the season with a 6-game homestand before you hit the road. And we hit the road for a while. We were on the road for 35 straight days. But that 6-game homestand, one time in the elevator, I was talking with Marah and I was like, how are you doing? And she had said, pretty good. It's actually, I'm used to being the other team that has to come in for all these November games. Being at home for this stretch is actually pretty sweet. So how is it different being at this Michigan State versus the rest of your career, what it's been like?
Yeah, like you said, usually November is like the worst month because we're playing against all the Michigan States every night. We're like, okay, we're going down to Utah now. We're going to Arizona State. So it's cool being on the other side of it for my last year. Getting our momentum going in the beginning of the season, and then now in league play, instead of coasting, it's like every night's a battle. And that's really why I wanted to come to a program like this. I want to compete every night. I want to win a lot of games and have fun doing it. So.
Well, Robyn, I think a lot of people are already starting to see what makes Marah pretty special. I mean, she's well-spoken, down to earth. What is it about Marah that people would really like to get to know?
Incredibly mature competitor. Just a team first person. She's so fun to be around. She's like somebody who super inclusive. Like she always makes sure that everybody feels part of something, but her competitive maturity is been a huge benefit for our team. Willing to do whatever the team needs. And as I shared earlier, I think one of our greatest strengths is super easy to play with, which is in the game of basketball really important.
It most certainly is. I also want to circle back to the Montana State connection for a moment, because Michigan State has some really unique connections with Montana State. If you start to peel the onion back,
do we?
Like a whole bunch of random ones.
Yeah, it really is, because Kara Fisher, SID for MSU women's basketball, her husband Zach grew up in Montana. His brother played football at Montana State.
Zach.
So he's a huge Bobcats fan. That whole family is. The guy who had this position before me, Keaton Galogly, that many of you, of course, remember, he's the voice of Montana State. So he calls football and men's basketball and has the weekly cat chats with players like Marah and everybody else out there.
I've been on with Keaton and now I'm on with you. It's full circle.
So again, there's a lot of unique connections here. But when Montana State a couple of weeks ago wins the FCS National Championship game, you're feeling what?
So excited for those guys. Like it's super special because a lot of those guys have been there for 4 years, and they've come so close. Like they've lost in quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. Just so cool to see some of my really good friends go all the way and win the Natty, and a lot of them are like hometown hero kids. So just so excited for them, and my friends were still there. The town's just electric right now.
Well, and Taco Dollar had that game-winning touchdown catch, and you know Taco pretty well.
I do, yeah. He was one of my good friends my freshman year, and same with the kicker who hit that field goal at the end. I knew him super well his first year. He was a walk-on, one of my really good friends, and now to be a walk-on to now kicking the game-winning field goal to win the national championship's a cool story.
That is really something pretty special. Well, as we continue to talk about Marah, look, we talked about what makes her really special as a person. You said her versatility, the maturation she has in just competition overall. She always does whatever the team needs. What does this year's team really need from Marah most?
Well, we love that she can guard a lot of different matchups. When she goes in, something that's I noticed, and I hope you guys notice too, the ball never sticks. Like, she does a really good job of, I say pass it fast. Some of the best offense you can have is just a quick reversal. She does a good job of keeping the ball moving for our group, and she can really shoot it. And those are going to go in. She's had some good looks.
They better.
She's had some good looks, but, her ability to space and pass is, I keep repeating myself, but being easy to play with is a huge part of being on a good team. And, Marah brings that. And she's also very, very consistent. We know what we're getting out of Marah every day from a attitude, energy, and dialed in perspective.
Well, we mentioned, Marah, you've played 111 career games. What is it about this year's Michigan State team that you love about your teammates?
It's just fun. This whole experience has been just so fun. And I think it comes with us having a lot of maturity on the team too. We've got a lot of people who have played a lot of basketball games. But no, every day, you go into the gym and it doesn't feel like work when you're having fun. And I think it's so special about this group. We can go in and we can get our work done, but also just have a great time throughout the ride.
That's awesome. Well, real quick, before we say goodbye, what's your major?
I'm a IDS major, so it's kind of like a build your own track, but it's concentration in health, and I'm doing a minor in education.
So whenever basketball is done for you, what is it you're wanting to do?
I'll probably go to nursing school.
Nursing school.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome.
I'd want Marah taking care of me.
Yeah.
For sure.
That fits. That's great. Well, Marah Dykstra, thank you so much. This has been a blast, and we really appreciate you coming out.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right. That's again number 32, Marah Dykstra. The Robyn Fralick Show is presented by Diversified Insurance Group. We'll be back with more after a break here on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
With $36.29 due at signing after all offers. Must be a current lessee of a 2021 model year or newer GM vehicle through GM Financial for at least 30 days prior to the new vehicle sale. Tax, title, license, dealer fees extra. No security deposit required. Mileage charge of 25 cents per mile over 20,000 miles. At participating dealers only. Visit BuickOfferInfo.com for details.
Sometimes we're asked if you need to be a Spartan to be a member of Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. The answer is no. To be an MSU FCU member, you just need 3 things. 1, you love saving money and earning cash back. 2, you have a passion for supporting your community, just like we do. 3, when it comes to your future, you prefer to dream big. If this sounds like you, visit msufcu.org to get started. Of course, if you want to cheer on MSU, we're totally on board with that too. Go green.
Spartans, when it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Show and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North Kitchen and Bar, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
Diversified Insurance Group presents the Robyn Fralick Show. Say hello to Cashback Plus, a member benefit from MSU FCU. Browse personalized offers from your favorite brands and hundreds more to purchase digital gift cards in any amount. Receive cashback up to 20%. Earn cashback on your everyday purchases with Cashback Plus. Only at MSU Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of Michigan State Athletics. And a reminder that, frankly, you want to join us for the Michigan Sports Brief every weekday on all of our Spartan Media Network affiliates. Presented by Frankenmuth Insurance. Find a local independent agent near you by visiting fmins.com. All right, Robyn, we had mentioned, you said at the top when I asked how you are, you said we're here. And I think there's a story to it that not anybody really knows of why that really felt so appropriate, because the journey home from Iowa had a lot of different bumps in the road. The game finishes, and of course, everybody's frustrated just with the result, right? And how the game turned out, that then you hear the plane is going to be delayed maybe 3+ hours. And so you're kind of stewing a little bit more, and you make your way over to the airport. You're sitting there and you're waiting. Finally, you get onto the plane, and then there is nobody in the air traffic control tower. So then we all have to deplane.
Wait, but you forgot we were literally about to take off. So they're like 45 minutes to Lansing. Hallelujah. They're like, oh, there's nobody in the watchtower. I'm like, what? I've never heard that in my entire life.
That was a first for me too. And actually, it's funny because
nobody's working.
I can't even say I forgot. I was asleep. I slept 4 different stretches of this.
We've got some stories about Dalton too. Let me tell you.
A lot of people feel very sympathetic for my wife Madison after the trip.
As Joel said when he was upstairs sleeping in the airport, what is that? And all the girls were like, it's Dalton.
These airways aren't very clear, folks.
We were recording on. We got to put this on air. He's always doing sound bites for the game. We got a sound bite from the airport.
We can work that sound effect in somewhere. That'd be great. But yeah, so then we have to deplane, and then somehow we have to try and get the entire party without a bus to shuttle to a hotel. That's all last minute. I mean, first off, before we talk about any more of the journey, we should give a shout out and everybody give a nice big hand to the Dobo, Mo Rosati. I don't know how she pulled everything together for everybody. It was incredible.
It was incredible. She was so calm. I'm like, why are you so calm? I'm not calm. Where? So we get off the plane, and then about 4:30 in the morning Central Time, we finally got to hotels, and then we couldn't get out the next day till 3 in the afternoon Central Time. But you know what? It was just more great quality time we had together. Got to know each other a little better. We got to know a little more about Dalton. So we got back to East Lansing yesterday. I think I pulled in my house about 5:45 p.m.
Do you feel, the chorus of groans, I think, kind of hits the tone, but do you feel that the team and everybody is kind of readjusted? I mean, it was a lot of just constant shuffling around.
We haven't had practice yet, so we'll see. But it's just the reality of, it's cold weather and the things that happen when you travel. And so we got to kind of get turned around, because obviously we've got a really big opponent coming up on Thursday night. But it was somewhere between hilarious and horrible. So but the Ubers at 3:30, it was like negative 30 degrees in Iowa too. We're driving, the cars are sliding off the road. I'm like, are we in a bad movie? Where are we? It's like the hotel's 4 miles away, but I'm like, are we going the right way?
Hey, so we have a story to remember, right?
That is very memorable. The watchtower. I'll never forget that. I didn't even know that you could be in a plane without somebody in the traffic control spot. So
we all learned.
Yeah, we all learned.
We all learned together. And you're right. There is a huge opponent coming in. That's USC. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But real quick, before we take a break, we wanted to, for Michigan State women's basketball and on behalf of just MSU athletics, extend our condolences. The campus at Michigan State really feels pretty shook. Hockey operations coach Dan Sturgis unexpectedly passed away yesterday morning. Only 40 years old. He's been with Michigan State hockey since 2019. He played here from 05 to 09. He was a 2007 national champion. Leaves behind his wife, Becky, and a couple of sons. It's something that's really tear-jerking. It's made everybody feel a certain kind of way. It's tragic. It's simply put tragic. And so we just want to extend our condolences to the Sturgis family and to everybody there. It's a really tough thing, but as Michigan State always does, they'll help them overcome. This is the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. You're listening to the Robyn Fralick Show.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
PI.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
Here you go. Go.
Run, James!
No. First base.
Go, go, go! Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.ufmhealthsparrow.org.
This is Labatt, brewed for the fans who can't stop shouting "shoot it," and the driveway heroes who still call raindrops on every brick. Make fun of a ref through the TV like he can hear you, then miss 3 straight free throws on your buddy's hoop. Argue every foul, celebrate every layup, and somehow think you're running the offense from Section 312. But that's the beauty of it. Basketball isn't just about the court, it's the noise, the passion, and the Labatt you're holding while you live it. Labatt, we're brewed for the roast. Enjoy responsibly. Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York.
We are back with more Spartan basketball on the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. When you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local teams across the Midwest, from big league stadiums to the neighborhood ball field. Learn more at Meijer.com/community. All right, I'm taking a look over here towards my right, and I believe we might have a trivia guess. Again, the question... Michigan State's one win against USC was back in 2005, second round NCAA tournament. Which Spartan hit the game-winning layup? What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Susie, and I live in Hazlitt. And is the player Renee Hayes?
It is. How about it?
All right.
And for Haynes, that was
a table decision.
So it's like trivia night. We got groups. It's we'll play. We'll leave it to you guys to split the tickets up, but I'm sure we got faith. You'll figure it out. But excellent work there. Yeah, Haynes ends up getting the shot. That was ironically the only shot she made in that game, and of course it comes at the best time for the green and white.
A memorable one for sure.
Absolutely. All right, coming up, it's a pretty big week again for Michigan State because every week is at this point with this league having maybe a dozen teams making it to the NCAA tournament. This one is the USC Trojans. They come in with a record of 11-7, but don't let that fool you. I mean, in the non-conference, they played South Carolina, they played Notre Dame, they played UConn, they played and beat NC State. This group is as battle-tested as anybody in the country, and they're led by the number one player in the country from this last recruiting class, Jazzy Davidson, who's scoring 16 points a game. I mean, this Trojans team is a handful.
They are very, very good team, very athletic, long, disruptive. You know, Jazzy Davidson was the number one ranked recruit out of high school. She's got a lot of length and speed. And Kennedy Smith, was out a few games. She's back. She's one of their best players. They have a lot of good players. And I think, one of the biggest strengths is defensively. They can make things real challenging.
Well, and you bring up defensively.
Yeah.
They're second right now in scoring defense in the Big Ten Conference. They only allow 59.5 points a game. They're number one in the Big Ten Conference in field goal percentage defensively, only allowing teams to shoot 38%. And again, we gave you that lineup of teams they played outside of the conference. This group is the real deal, and especially on defense, it feels like it's their length. They're able just to disrupt so much on that end of the floor.
Yeah, really long and athletic and fast. So at pretty much every spot. So we're going to have to be really sharp to find ways to get the shots that we consistently want.
And besides Jazzy Davidson, you brought up Kennedy Smith, London Jones, you may remember the really talented UCLA Bruin last year, transferred across town to USC. She's a sharpshooter, scores 12 points a game. When they came from behind to beat Nebraska, she had 3 threes in, I think, 70 seconds. I mean, she's somebody you have to be aware of, too.
Yep. London Jones that can get hot from 3. And then Cara Dunn recently has been their leading scorer, who's a transfer from Georgia Tech, who was an all-ACC player. So a roster with a lot of talent, and we're going to have to be sharp on both sides of the ball.
And Kara's scoring 14 points per game so far. So we talked a lot about how your offense is going to have to overcome some things. Those 4 players are averaging pretty much double figures plus. Once you get past that, the next member is averaging just under 4 points per game, but that 4 is a handful. How do you defend that core?
That's a great question, Dalton.
That's why we ask, right?
Come to our staff meeting and know, the next few days we'll have to be sharp. They're good in transition. They're good at getting extra possessions, whether that's offensive rebounds, steals. So we got to find ways to, for us to find ways to get extra possessions and take care of the ball, keep them to one shot, and don't give them, easy points in transition.
Oh, we certainly look forward to it. It's going to be a big one from the Breslin Center. We'll be talking about it a little bit more before we say goodbye as well. We're here live from One North Kitchen and Bar, East Lansing, for all the Spartan Radio Coaches shows. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. We'll be back with more from Coach Fralick, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. You're on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Women's basketball.
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go!
Run, James!
No. First base!
Go! Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
Sometimes we're asked if you need to be a Spartan to be a member of Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. The answer is no. To be an MSU FCU member, you just need 3 things. 1, you love saving money and earning cash back. 2, you have a passion for supporting your community, just like we do. 3, when it comes to your future, you prefer to dream big. If this sounds like you, visit msufcu.org to get started. Of course, if you want to cheer on MSU, we're totally on board with that too. Go green.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.ufmhealthsparrow.org.
Thanks for joining us and the Spartan fans here at One North for the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. All right, we mentioned next up for Michigan State women's basketball, playing host to the USC Trojans. That is this Thursday, so in just 2 days. It'll be an 8 o'clock tip. We're going to be taking the airwaves at 7:45. We'll be on WVFN 7:30 a.m. Coming up this Thursday. This is a matchup, as we said, it's really big. And look, I think USC we talked about their non-conference schedule. A lot of that was with the knowledge at the time that they thought they were going to have Juju Watkins, who's a generational talent. Of course, she is out this entire season. But this USC team's still really good, and this is still a big build type battle.
Big time matchup, big game. I love to share. It's at 8 p.m., so that's perfect because it is dark and cold, and there's nothing better going on. I promise you. There's no Netflix show better. There's no they sell hot chocolate at the Breslin. So tell your friends to tell their friends to tell their friends. Do you want to stay warm and you want to stay entertained? We will see you at the Breslin on Thursday night.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing too, folks. This is a Michigan State team that's scoring 87, 88 points a game. It's a fun playing style. You meet many of the players like Marah Dykstra. They're great young players to invest in. Tell some people, let's pack the Breslin Center, make this into a real home court advantage, and make USC feel that when they walk into this building and for the rest of the season, because there's going to be a lot of big games at the Breslin Center. There's no better time to get in on a week-to-week, game-to-game basis than right now for Michigan State women's basketball, a program that is started the best start in program history. So go ahead, encourage everybody, as Robyn said, and let's pack the Breslin Center.
Yeah, we need your help. I mean, in this league, these home games, we need your help. We need our crowd to be the sixth man and make a difference. And we're going to have a bunch of late night weekday games. And I promise you, there is nothing better going on this Thursday at 8 p.m. There's really not. There's not one thing more entertaining. So we'll see you guys there.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. And, of course, we'll see you guys next week as well. The next Robyn Fralick Show will be next Tuesday at noon. Look, Robyn, I don't want to get too far ahead, but we do have just a little bit of time left. You've got to get through USC. But once USC does get into the rearview mirror, your team actually has 7 days between games, a week before heading to Purdue. And feels like that might be coming at a good time. It's been a lot of travel, a lot of everything. You can't use excuses, but fatigue feels like a reality.
Well, I shared with our team, the reality is every team in our league has this. Every team travels. Every team wakes up and has another top 25 team to prepare for. So it's just the reality of choosing this league and choosing this level. And so it's the team that can have endurance, that can maintain focus, that can stay engaged over the course of a season is going to separate themselves. So, for me, I'm just like, USC wakes up and they have to fly across the country. This is just the reality of our league. So let's be a team that has a little more endurance and a little more focus and has fun playing, because this is pretty cool that we get to play such high level games night in and night out.
It most certainly is pretty cool. And as Robyn said, nothing better to do in mid-Michigan.
I'm telling y'all, it's going to be bright and hot in the Breslin Center, and they got delicious snacks too.
So come one, come all, bring friends, and we'll see you at the Breslin Center. Some thank yous on the way out the door. Big thank you to our audio engineer, Chris Ordaway, for all of his help today. Our producer back in the studios, Matt Contreras Valenzuela. Also Tessa Costco and Emma McEwen on the video stream. Big thank you to Marah Dykstra for coming out, One North Kitchen and Bar, the entire staff and management. And, of course, to head coach Robyn Fralick. For Robyn, I'm Dalton Shetler. So long. Until next time, go Green.